No, you can't hear me because I was on mute. Hey, Hood Scriptures, All the Smoke, Angel Ray, Big Set, Jay Parrish, Ox City 805, L7, RNYTV. Thank you guys for coming out. I'm glad that you guys came and spent a little time with me this morning. Hey, Clyde broke again because Mona reversed payment back to the stroll. Okay, so Mona is always doing something. I tell you, Clyde. Strictly Platinum, Cheryl Burnett, how are you? Dry Mustard, Miami Popo, Lena Pretty Brown Eyes. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, so that's all I see. Beans and cornbread. Good morning. Good morning, should I say. Okay, so, okay. Now, uh, you all, I'm just going to say that everyone had a good time. So, have you guys been? Did you guys get to watch Jay Wilson? Jay Wilson was on sabbatical. He was suddenly sick, but the reason that I took 3 days off is because I'm sick, and I was coming down with something, and I'm trying to get over this cold. But Jay Wilson, you were only live 2 days ago, so how did you take 3 days off, Jay Wilson? We know we everybody knew that you could not take 3 days off, but there's so Everyone but him. Yes, everyone knew that he couldn't take 3 days off. Everyone but him. So, hey, Brianna, you in the bushes working? Okay. Thank you for being here, Stephanie Rose. Hello, Royal Court. Fifi TV. Hey, how you doing? Fifi, I haven't watched that movie yet. But I found it, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it today because obviously I want to talk about it because it does look good. Okay, so let's go and let's see what Jay Wilson was talking about yesterday. Jay Wilson went live last night after 2 days sabbatical, but I really didn't watch anyone. Uh, I don't know what's happening, and I didn't watch anyone, so it's serious when Jay Wilson does not have that old spicy lisp in his voice, and he's not on there talking like hello, ooh, y'all, something else, and he's not lisping. So it is something serious. So early in the day, I had gotten wind that there were some scandalous things said about Uncle Vivian, and I was wondering, he been watching for 2 days in his underwear. I'm pretty sure he's eating his way out of any set waist pair of pants after he came back in that after that cruise was so horrid. I bet he's been eating ever since nonstop. So I'm pretty sure he can't button a pair of pants to have a set in waistband. Good morning, Carmel Bunny. Thank you for being here. Okay, Church Mouse, how are you? Rhonda Blazer. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Jay Weasel is an idiot who does nothing but lie. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Hey, Just Andrea. Oh, Just Andrea. Oh, Just Andreas. I I was going through my file of pictures that I should put up because it was a it was a big to do on Jay Wilson's panel about people are putting people's pictures out, and that is horrible, and I wouldn't do that. So what is a reasonable expectation of privacy? What is a reasonable expectation of privacy? So Jay Wilson went live not to talk about the fact that Uncle Viv was being thrown under several bus tires. I think Uncle Viv was thrown under the tires of one of them double buses that got the accordion thing that connects them together over and over again. So, Jay Wilson, did you come live to deflect from the things that we heard about Vivian? And we'll touch on that later. But I want to say that Jay Wilson wanted to come out here and pretend like, hey, Jay Dunn, that somebody was doing something. Oh, we had a good time. The library center. I think he was down with the whole mold thing the whole time. He had to have been. He had to have been. It was so crazy to sit up there and watch those two women who actually did go on the trip say, and forget, what are they sending moles on the trip for? They don't have time to do nothing better for themselves, and that is so silly. And we not worried about no moles. As Shelley, who has told Jay Wilson as much that she had a mole on his trip. And Shelley, for once, was not able to say anything. Jay Wilson also sat up there and said nothing. I think the women did not notice the irony in which they spoke, where you had Shelley sitting on the panel, and Jay Wilson, you are such an idiot because it's obvious that to me, man, it may not be obvious to everybody else. It's obvious to me that Shelly has some dirt on you. And you do whatever you may. You can contort yourself all that you want. Your dirt is coming out, Jay Wilson. Whatever Shelly has on you will be hitting the streets, Jay Wilson. Guaranteed. You sat up there and let these women point out the obvious fact, like, who's bothered by Mo? If you're not bothered by Mo, and if Demetra's mole was so bad, well, why wasn't Shelly's mole that she has told you that she had on the trip so bad? What's the difference, Jay Wilson? I don't get it. Nor do you. But you will, I'm pretty sure. Shelly ain't his friend. I concur. Okay, that's Shelly's platform no matter what he says. And exactly. We had a good time. Okay. Hey, Almond Brown, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. He did it for content. Shelly and Viv was down with it too. Oh, you think that Shelly? I don't know, but we're gonna see. We're gonna go into what it was said that Viv was down with. But it's just like really weird that he would sit up there and let Jay Wilson. Sit up there and let these people talk and not notice the irony that Shelly is doing the exact same thing he's complaining to Demetri about. Okay, so what is a reasonable expectation of privacy is the question. So we have this thing called the Fourth Amendment. You know, we have a right to privacy in our homes and in our personal effects. So was Jay Wilson at home? Was Jay Wilson at home or was he out in public? Do we have an expectation of privacy while we're in public? Brianna, can you answer that question for me? Expectation of privacy has gone all the way to the Supreme Courts in Katz versus the United States in 1967. It has already been judged by the Supreme Court what an expectation of privacy is while you're in public, Jay Wilson. Reasonable expectation of privacy. Test one. Did the defendant have an actual subjective expectation of privacy? Did you have an actual subjective expectation of privacy, Jay Wilson? Did you really expect when you were doing anything out there in that public ship with over 3,000 people that you were in privacy, Jay Wilson? Hmm. Does society regard this in expectation of privacy as objectively reasonable? If you thought that what you did on a ship full of 3,000 people, does society regard this expectation of privacy that you want to say you should have had and nobody should have taken pictures of people who were in a public place? Do you think society sees that as objectionably reasonable, Jay Wilson? No, they don't. No, we don't. You have an expectation of privacy in a public bathroom stall. That's where you have expectation of privacy, where no one should be able to take a picture and show what you do. But when you're out on a cruise ship, sitting in a library, stroking a broken ego of a fat bitch who ran his mouth so much that his trip got his somebody showed him up on his own chip. You have no expectation of privacy in public. Ask Brianna. Brianna, we were kind of going over that when Brianna had the incident of somebody taking a picture of her coming out of the restaurant, and like as much as it may be uncomfortable, what some people may see you doing, you are doing it in a public place, so there's no legal recourse for people showing you in the public. There's no legal recourse. So what are we talking about here? So Jay Wilson went further on to say he was, and this is what really kind of pissed me off. Okay, let me see what else I got about expectation of privacy. First of all, because you guys know that I just don't like to talk. Jay Wilson thinks that just if I just talk, I can just talk, I can just say this, I can just say that. No reasonable expectation of privacy. You have no reasonable expectation of privacy in regards to what? Public records. I blocked the examples out because this is the doxing sector. So you guys can, I'm not going to tell you what is considered public records that you should have no reasonable expectation of privacy from. But you also should have no reasonable expectation of privacy in matters exposed to the public. Physical appearance, fingerprints, even hair sample, other physical characteristics. Why do you think that if somebody doesn't operate with the police and give their DNA, they can serendipitously they can sneak From time to time, they can sneak and get your fingerprints or your DNA from a coffee cup. They can wait for you to throw a soda can in the trash and go collect that soda can and get your DNA off of it. You have no expectation of privacy in things done in the public. And they do not have to get a search warrant to collect that DNA. See, there are laws. Jay Wilson, I would think you know this because the laws for the lawless. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Don't overpromise and underdeliver, Jay Wilson. Do not overpromise and underdeliver. That's what you did, Jay Wilson. And the law is only for the lawless. You have absolutely no expectation of privacy in things that you have done on that ship. So let me see what you guys have to say about this because I'm tired of this, all this jaw jerking and wagging tongues at something that is absolutely nothing. That means absolutely nothing, making absolutely zero sense. The right of privacy in legal aspect, protection from the unreasonable uh, publicity given to one's private life. Was your private life lived on the in the library of that ship, Jay Wilson, and the people that Jay Wilson bought? Was your private life lived there? No, that was your public life. You have no privacy expectation than that. Protection from publicity that unreasonably places one in a false light before the public. So that's kind of iffy there because we know that everything about Jay Wilson is false. So uh, just showing him out in public with his phony ass self, talking we're having a good time, where everybody here is having a good time, but he wanted to present that as real. So he can't even fall back on that one either. So there you had no expectation of any privacy, nor did any of the people who you brought on that cruise have any expectation of privacy other than when they went to a public bathroom or when they were in their personal cabins. Not even your cabin, their personal cabins. Okay? Got it? Get it? Hmm? Doctor? You got that, Dr. Pastor J. Wilson? They didn't teach you how to read. They didn't teach you about the Constitution. Are you serious? Oh my God. We have such uh we have such intelligent people on the YouTube streets so they would have you think. Okay, let me see. Do you guys anybody disagree? Hey Miss Cruiser, how you doing? Miss Cruiser, you missed me giving a lesson in the fact that there is no reasonable there's no reasonable way that Jay Wilson thought that he can enact privacy claims about his privacy being invaded because somebody took pictures of them on the boat in public spaces. You have no expectation of privacy when you're in public places. That's what we went over. We went over the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. We went over the fact that the Supreme Court has already dealt with the expectation of privacy in 1967. These are some of the things we went over. We went over the fact that Jay Wilson wanted to bemoan a mole for Demetra while Shelley sat up there and admitted to him that she had her own mole, and he sat quietly as the people who actually went on the cruise with him said that it is so silly to have a mole in our camp. It was so silly. And what are they going to catch? We're not ashamed of ourselves and we're not this and we're not that. And then Shelley and Jay Wilson sat there on mute because Shelley Shelly, how come you didn't chime in and say, what do you mean? What do you mean? I had moles in the camp and on the ship for this reason and that reason, because you definitely are always want to talk. Ooh, I had moles on the camp too. I had moles in the camp too. Jay Wilson, the only person that you need to worry about is Shelly. That's the only person that you actively need to be worrying about is Shelly. Okay. And whatever you think that you are getting from her by remaining silently stupid, you're not going to get it. What you're going to do, what you're going to get is you're going to get shamed out here on these YouTube streets for with whatever it is that have you silent, that has you sitting silent, that has you not thanking people who help you over a person who has you out here in these YouTube street looking like an idiot, Jay Wilson. That's what you're gonna get. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so let me see what you're saying. He knew the whole time. You think he knew about the mole the whole time? What? A mole sent by Shelly. Wow. Yes, Shelly has been saying that she has a mole, but Jay Wilson is complaining about Demetri moles. How, Sway? How does that work? What is that duality of consciousness that you have, that Jay Wilson, in regards to moles? I don't understand it. I understand that you wanted to pretend like you had a duality of sexuality for many a years, but Jay Wilson, we're not buying it. Okay, so let me see what else Jay Wilson talked about. Okay, Jay Wilson. Oh, I lost my page. You guys know I always take notes because I always want to make sure I get everything that I wanted to talk about. Oh man, it's gonna take me a little second. So, okay, I lost my page. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. My YouTube notebook page, YouTube notebook is like full of my little notes and stuff. And I was rushing because I didn't want you guys to think that I was coming because I was running late. And now I cannot find the page where I wrote my notes. But I'm gonna go ahead anyway. So what we do know that Jay Wilson spoke on, he had the people up there from Club Chat, and they were talking about how they had a good time. And who noticed that Jay Wilson wants to say, yes, we had a good time, and I had 40 people. And it was so good visiting with the people. And Jay Wilson repeats the same two people's name all the time. We had, Vivian was there, and we had Rainy Bow, and we had what is her name? Egyptian, Haitian goddess or Haitian princess. She was there, and and all of you guys, you know who you are. Yeah, they know who they are, but do you know who they are? And why is it that you can only mention Rainy Bow and Haitian princess? And then and all the rest of you peons, and then the ladies to come up there and say, "Oh, we had a Ohio crew, and I'm going to be going to Ohio, and we sat and we spoke, and we had such a good time, and yes, and we had the lady who came out from California. Yes, she was in the wheelchair, and what's the lady? The lady." Somebody came out to visit you on your cruise from California, and all you can call her is the lady. But you can remember Rainy Bow's name, huh? Why I wonder why you can remember Rainy Bow and Haitian Goddess's name, but you can't remember somebody who came out in a wheelchair and was on the cruise with you, Jay Wilson. Was she not as important as the other people on the cruise? That just really sounds strange to me. It really sounds like you did not get to know any other people on your cruise. And regardless of what you guys say, I did go out and I went out and got souvenirs, and it wasn't that important. We know the whole spiel. And I met up with people and we went on a carriage ride. No, Jay Wilson, that's not what you did. You was hustling your fat ankles back to the boat, and then just Andreas and someone saw you already on the carriage ride that they had purchased and invited your cheap ass to go on the ride with you without having to pay, and you hopped your fat funky butt up on the carriage ride and hitched the ride off of somebody else's money, much like you do everything in your life, Jay Wilson. That's what happened. There was no I met somebody there for the carriage ride, because that's what happened, Jay Wilson. Oh, she was very sweet. You're talking about the lady from California, Michelle. Look, who? Miss Cruiser, Michelle, and her husband. Yes. Yeah. Okay. See, that's who came out to see Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson. Her name is Michelle. Miss Cruiser took like Miss Cruiser took some serious brain power and had some human decency when she was greeting the woman and who she saw sitting outside getting ready to board your cruise with your juicycation shirt, your juicycation tank that you never even bothered to wear yourself. Cruiser saw her and she greeted her. And unlike some people may think that these were not real people, Jay Wilson, yes, those were real people. And Cruiser greeted them and even had the forethought to remember their names, Juicy. How about you try that, Juicy? So there's that. See, she had the forethought to remember their name, these people who traveled out there to get you. Oh, will you be mad? See, I was challenged that these people didn't even exist. I had the decency to block out their faces, but these people have no right, no expectation of privacy sitting out in the public, Jay Wilson. So fuck you and what you think you know, and fuck you what you think I think about what you think is right or wrong. Because it's not what you think, it's what you know. Okay? The law's for the lawless, Jay Wilson. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Okay, there's that. He knows how to get stuff for free. Shaking my head. Let me remove these people. See, Jay Wilson is like really, really, really. He really pushes the envelope of his BS to try to make people think like, oh, if I talk in this serious voice, it's going to sound like it's fact. No, it does not sound like it's fact. It only sounds like it's fact to people who don't do their due diligence to understand little simple common things about life. And you want to sit up and try to, well, if I was the people and if I was upset, I would take action. So Jay Wilson, do you understand YouTube guidelines, right, Jay Wilson? Do you not understand YouTube guidelines? So what you did right there, you wasn't slick. You wasn't slick. You wasn't vague. What you did right there was, and if I were you people, I have nothing to do, but you guys were subscribers, and I'm a content creator. So what I would do is, I would take action on that. You told these people to report Demetrius Page. That's exactly what you did, Jay Wilson. You told them in a dog whistle to go and report Demetrius Page for having her mole on there, taking pictures of them in a public place. Now, hey, T. Tricia, while I may not do that, while I might not have a mole on there to take pictures of somebody in a public place to come back and laugh at them, but she did nothing wrong in doing so. Let's be clear. Let's be real clear. And YouTube guidelines does not take that type of stuff lightly. That is getting a lynch mob to harass and bully Demetra for her content. That's what you did, Jay Wilson. And I ain't even seeing it for Demetra's funky ass. But that's what you did, Jay Wilson. You want to sit up and try to get a lynch mob to go after another content creator for her content that is not against any law or any rules of YouTube. But what you did in trying to get a lynch mob to go after her channel is against YouTube's guidelines. Let's look at this. I'm trying to be slick by half. No, you're not slick by half in what you did, and that little verbiage that you said about these people. It's not me, but I would do something. Let's see what YouTube has to say about false flagging. Let me get this comment out. How do a false flag tactic work online? False flag tactics work online the same way they work in the physical world. The purpose of such operation is either to hide your tracks and to hope the misattribution will protect you from being caught, or to convince authorities that someone else carried out the malicious action. And thus starts a conflict. You want people to think that your hands are clean, and no, the subscribers, they had the right to, because she had the nerves to, whoever her mole had the nerves to take pictures of them in a public place, which is totally legal. While I have nothing to say about Shelly sitting on my panel, saying right to my face that she had a mole on the cruise, and I won't rebuke Shelly and say anything about Shelly, but I'm gonna sit up here and tell my subscribers, like, I'm so concerned that Demetra had a mole up there who worked within her legal rights to do content on pictures that was bought to her from her mole. Bitch, are you crazy? Or you think we crazy? Bitch, are you crazy, or do you think we crazy? Okay, so let me see. One more informative clip. In encouraging terms of service violation. This is from YouTube itself, Jay Wilson. You might want to dig into these YouTube guidelines. If you post content that encourages others to use other users to violate our terms of service, the content may be removed. Your account may be penalized, and in some cases, your account may be terminated. Jay Wilson. Okay. So everybody saw what you did. You didn't do a sleight of hands. It was very clear what you did in saying what you said. And I'm sick of grown people playing kids games with people's channels. Like, while you can't even live 3 days off of your own channel, but you want to send people with a dog whistle to go after Demetra's channel when she did absolutely nothing wrong. It may not be the taste of what other people have, but she did absolutely nothing wrong. Everybody don't eat the same thing. So, like I said, I ain't even feeling it for Demetra right now. But I'm not gonna lay down for no BS that you trying to pull about her and people who got their pictures taken where they had absolutely no expectation of privacy. Okay, so let me see what you guys say. But Vivian and Shelly and Jay Wilson and April, after the live, stay on talking together. Yeah, and Shelly came up there. I just came up here because I want to talk to Vivian afterwards. Bitch, go sit down there. Tell him to let you know when he about to go off. Sitting up there on the whole panel. I don't give a fuck. Excuse me. Why is it necessary that the chat know that Shelly wants to be on the link to talk to Vivian afterwards, so she can come up there and tell people who paid to go on the cruise, oh yeah, oh excuse me, y'all got feedback, and it just really bothers me. Well, hop your ass off the panel then, because they were laughing. These two ladies was laughing, having a good time, and then you unmute yourself to lie and say that they had feedback because they were over talking each other. And if you guys can just put your mics on mute and talk one at a time, and then the lady's like, oh, excuse me, this is my first time hitting the panel, I didn't know. Well, that's why I'm giving you the information so you can, and you guys want, bitch, go sit your ass down somewhere. If you go on your channel, you won't have to hear them talking over each other while you sitting up monitoring Jay Wilson's channel with an eagle eye and talking crazy to people who actually helped him. And as he sits silent, as you set up and question Cruiser who had helped him, and he sat up there and sat silent. The same thing is going on. Hey, kind to me. How you? I didn't say that real kind. Hey, kind to me. How are you, kind to me? It's good to see you, Lexi Lex. Yes, I do. I just sit up and watch, and these are the things that I see when I'm watching this. I am like, are these people actually serious? Hey, Very Carrie. Yes, I have a poll up, and it is asking you a question. Did you guys hit the like button on your way in? If you haven't, I would appreciate if you do. So let me see what you guys have to say about this. Lord, what I miss. Very Carrie, you what is that? Your speaking game. I say it, you speak it. Yeah, we had another learning. We had another learning game at the beginning of this chat, and I will review our lesson of what we learned in the cat. Hey, Sophie, how you doing? I will review it at the end. You know how I'll do a quick review to make sure that we all learned the lesson about our Fourth Amendment and how the Supreme Court in 1967 has already ruled that we have no expectation of privacy while in public, and how Jay Wilson called a dog whistle for the people who appeared uh, on Demetra's little expose. He threw out a dog whistle for those subscribers to then go and strike Demetra's page or complain about Demetra's page, and how that is against the community guidelines. Please do not be offended by this monkey. This monkey is only here to be alarmed about Jay Wilson trying to have these people go false flag Demetra's page. It's just crazy. It is just really crazy. So those are really things. So now let's talk about what else I have been seeing on the YouTube streets. You see, because that would be kind of like Ken. That would be kind of be like Ken, uh, taking a picture of himself and saying that you guys have been talking about him for years and his teeth, but let's see what you're gonna have to say now about him and his teeth. Well, Ken, what I have to say about you and your teeth now is, oh, you've been to Amazon, huh? 29.99. That's what I have to say about Ken and his teeth. That's what I have to say. Ken put the picture out, so that's what I have to say about the picture. You know, you can't win. You can't. What is you just? What is the name? How did that song go? You can't win. Something something. Something something out of the game. You can't win. That's what I have to say about Ken. So will Ken get mad if I say that about him? Huh? Do you guys think Ken will be mad? And if somebody know I'm gonna invite anybody up if you can sing that little verse of "You Can't Win." I will cash app you a little prize because I had the lyrics to the dang on song on my notes and I still haven't found my notes. So if somebody can just sing that little part of "You Can't Win," I will send you a secret little cash app for helping me out. God dang it. Anyway, anyway, okay. Those are dentures. Okay, bitch, I'm dead. You ain't shit. Of course, I'm not shit. I'm a nice woman. I'm just saying. Like that would be, an example of, come on, like Jay Wilson. You put this out on a public platform. Like, what do you expect? Okay, so let's talk about. Okay, let me. Oh, I got a singer up here. Hold on. Let me see. Oops, Banner didn't cover you up. I hope this is real J Dunn.
You can't win.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm
You,
sorry. Go ahead.
you
Start over.
can't break it. Okay. You can't win. You can't break even, then you can't get out of the game. People say something, and it always remains the same. You can't win. You can't break even, then you can't get out of the game. You can't win, child. That's all I know.
That's good, J Dunn. Leave your cash app in the back. Leave your cash app in the back chat, and I'm gonna cash app you a little something for that rendition because I greatly appreciate you coming up and singing that song. Do you have anything you want to add to what you saw with Jay Wilson coming out on yesterday after all those rumors were swirling around about Uncle Viv? And I'm gonna get to those rumors as soon as I find my notes. But what do you have anything you want to add?
I think that Jay Wilson is full of shit as always. It also ended up coming out in Cruises Live last night that Jay Wilson might have inflated his numbers of the people there because one event that was supposed to be private, they admitted that they opened it up to the public in
Hmm.
order to have seat fillers come in, in order to make that number inflate to the number 40. they allowed the public to come in so that they could use that as a photo op. Is what I gathered from Cruiser and Sean's conversation.
That
But
was
I thought that it,
that was a little champagne thing or something where they actually had three groups there and they allowed them to stay over. But it was strange that uh Viv was working the door for some reason. All of a sudden, Vivian was working for Carnival, and Johnny Mac approached, and they would, and Viv said he was not allowed to come in. Though, is that the
yeah,
event?
yeah, uh huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
where they had it open to the public, but when Johnny Mac came, they wouldn't let him in. Yeah, that's what they were
Mm-hmm.
talking about. And also, I do think that it's very interesting that, yeah, Shelly sent the mole, but she was right there during their conversation about how it was bad to send the mole. That was
And
just the
that's what
weirdest thing that I ever saw.
Yes, that was ridiculous. And how both of them sat up there quiet as their subscribers who want to do something as they were talking about having moles, how silly it was. And it made them look so foolish. And you want to pump your subscribers up about, oh, it's so bad to have a mole, but girl, how can he live in a duality of ignorance? Just crazy.
And the thing is, Shelly was the first person that came out saying that she had a mole. And she loved to brag about her being the first person with a mole, her getting the information. She as soon as the cruise thing happened, she had a phone call of her mole calling her and all this. I mean, she made a big deal and played up this mole situation. It said that she was going to be bringing popping hot tea, but now they forgetting about the fact that she had a mole. The thing that they mad about and the thing that she mad about is that Demetra's tea was hotter than hers. What's the difference? Y'all both had moles. Demetra's mole just brought in hotter tea.
Has Shelly even dropped any tea? I don't listen to her, and you
Well,
know how you
about a
go ahead.
man sneaking out of Vivian's room is all I done heard so far.
So I did hear that that came from Shelly, and I find that curious that the only information that her mole came up is again. I thought Shelly and Vivian was friends, so why would Shelly, having a mole on there, be dropping tea about a man coming out of Vivian's room if that's her friend?
Your guess is as good as mine, but based on what I heard, they said that Vivian Milkshake bring all the boys to the yard when she working at the gas station, and
Mm-hmm.
so because her milkshake bring all the boys to the yard, they are saying that her milkshake was bringing the boys on the cruise too. So that's all I really know.
Well, this is what okay. What do you think about this, Jada? See, with that, Shelly is supposed to be Vivian's friend. So if you knew that that happened to your friend, why would you come out here and put it on the YouTube streets? Y'all supposed to be cool, right? So what do you? What I think that was, I think that was a red herring. I don't think that nobody told. I don't think anybody told Shelly that somebody saw a green-eyed or a gray-eyed man coming out of Vivian's room. Because what I have heard from more reputable sources was how in the club, what is that? Club Alchemy. Club Alchemy. So what I heard was that a woman was bent over twerking, and Viv was up on her booty with her crotch like she was a dude. That's what I did hear. So I
So
think
they
that was a
so
red
they said
herring
that.
to
Wait a
go
second.
ahead.
So they said that Vivian was spanking it from behind.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So what I think that was a red herring to get you to think that Vivian was out there all smushed up with a dude when you had a whole club full of people saying that Vivian was up there riding ass in the club like she was a dude. Jay Wilson, Jay Dunn fell off. Jay Dunn and fainted. Jay Dunn and fainted and disconnected her device. Come back, Jay Dunn. Listen, okay, so that is what I heard. And then if you notice, there was somebody in daughter's chat there was somebody's in daughter's chat named Ebony, and one of the guests was in the middle of talking, and Uncle Viv interrupted and said real quick, Uncle Viv, J Don, you're more than welcome to come back up. Oh, let me drop the link again. Uncle Viv interrupted and said, oh, Ebony, I'm gonna meet you at Club Alchemy. I'm gonna meet you at Club Alchemy. Well, what is this about Club Alchemy? If you've been paying attention, you guys may not have been paying attention. You got to pay attention because Sean has said earlier in one of his lives, what's her? Get Mama Fur Baby, get Mama Zulu, catch. I hope she ain't fall on Zulu. J Don, I hope you ain't fall on Zulu. Get up off Zulu. Earth, 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 earth. Okay, so Sean Bradley said the club Alchemy on the cruise ship is a gay club. So while on live last night, when Uncle Bill saw this person Ebony, her tongue got so hard she couldn't help but shout out, "I'm gonna meet you in Club Alchemy, 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 Alchemy." Oh God, she says, "Oh man, she's still." She still is a Zulu help your mama. Oh my God. Yes. So I thought that was like really something that they also overlooked. And that's why I think that was a red herring for Vivian. So I think that Vivian came on the cruise and, Vivian was ready to, have a nice time on the cruise. She had her sundress on and everything. And something happened. I think Vivian was transformed on the cruise. And I think that, having fun, feeling free, kind of like made Vivian say that, hey, I can be who the heck I am. I don't have to sit up here and, ogle Jay Wilson's titties. I don't have to do that anymore. I can actually be the person that I want to. She had a couple of drinks. She, got full of liquor. She got liquored up. And she was like, hey, I can do my own thing on this cruise. So I think that that's what actually happened with Vivian. And she just found her own freedom and said, hey, I'm going to get from under Jay Wilson's skirt and I'm going to do whatever it is that I really want to do. So that's what I think that happened to Vivian. So what do you guys think that happened to Vivian? Let me see what you guys got to say. Hey, Stormy. Early in the morning. Yes, girl. Okay. Who are you fooling? Sure, Uncle Vivian got some. I got a girlfriend, but she lives in another state. That's why you can't meet her. Okay. It sounds it sounds like even Vivian was having fun. Everybody was having fun except Jay Wilson. I definitely agree with that. Another mole, huh? Ronnie Hugh had a mole too with good pics. Yes, but I just think that is exactly what happened. It was a bunch of BS, and if Vivian did have a somebody coming in there, and her and Shelly are friends, wouldn't that something be Shelly would be mute on? I think that was just trying to change the subject. Okay, I have somebody coming up. Let me make sure I put a banner up. You back?
It's me. I'm back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to take the banner down. Okay, girl, you just passed out on me, girl. So what?
Girl,
So what? What
just,
do you?
huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead. What do you
Oh,
say?
I was just,
Did you hear that?
yeah, I heard about Vivian spanking it from behind, and I can't believe it. So it could have been red herring to kind of throw everybody off of the fact that Vivian um wasn't over there spanking some ass up in the disco. Cause wasn't she up in the disco when she did that?
Jadon, in the where?
The disco,
Well, the what?
the disco,
The what?
the disco. You know they was at the disco. Now you know they
Yes,
was at the disco.
they was at the disco. Yes, I'm going to the disco tonight, and tonight I'm going to. Did you see him? Did you see him? Oh, that's another thing. Yes, yesterday when he made first mention of the disco yesterday. He said, and then I went to the club because I had warned him out by saying he was going to a disco. And the first time he mentioned going to the club, he went, and we went out to the club. Girl, you cannot make this stuff up. He is okay. So now, why would they want to? Why would they want to not let Vivian have her fun and all this type of stuff, and have to screw a lie? The one person that really did have fun, they take her fun away from her. They didn't have to advertise her fun if she didn't want her fun out there. But gosh, why did they have to lie and make it seem like it was something that obviously she didn't want? So I found that I think that was a red herring. That, in my opinion, that's all I have to
me,
say.
me too, because I don't know what the purpose is to let us know about the man, unless it's just to let us know that Vivian could get a man. I don't
Hmm.
understand. But yeah, if I had a mole, I wouldn't be putting out the tea on my friend. I would be
Nor
putting
would
out
I.
tea about everybody else.
And has she spilled tea on any other thing since she had her mole? Any other thing other than Vivian is what I need to know. I don't watch her. I did hear about that one thing that she had put out, and it was about her friend. Anything else came from her mole, allegedly?
Um, Not that I know of, but again, the only thing that I've heard people talk about is about the man. I don't know that her mole knew of anything else. I think her mole said that Boo didn't want to come to the thing, but that's all I really know. I don't know what her mole gave. But I say all this to say she had a mole too. So if you're gonna be mad at people having moles, then you gotta be mad at her and her mole too.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I agree. Now, everybody knew that Boo wasn't coming. Everybody knew that. So I don't know why they act like this is something that we did not know. Everybody has heard that they have broken up. So there's that rumor is out. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, I don't care. That means I won't have to look at no more fake rings that he's trying to decide between. At I'm shopping at Diamonds R Us or whatever place he's talking about. So what I have to say
Mhm.
about that is, Jay Wilson, I think Viv has come into her own right now. I know that you like Viv being your beard in some situations, but Jay Wilson, since you didn't wear her Juicy Cation shirt, she said she is no longer going to be your beard. She will no longer cover for you, Jay Wilson, and that's what I think happened. Okay, so
Yeah. It was definitely the whole trip has been interesting. But one thing that I did take away from this entire thing, Ronnie Hugh,
what?
Jay Wilson had a really good time. He had a really great time. The writer lives and Jay Wilson had a great time, you all. You all, they had a really good time. So what if
Very
Sean Bradley
successful.
and Club Chat showed up? That's no big whoop. It's no big
Big
whoop.
whoop.
We had a really great time.
And it was very successful. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Jay Wilson had dreams that he was up in that disco like this. Jay Wilson's like, oh, I went to the disco. And there Jay Wilson would have you. He was up there on that ship cruise disco dancing like this. But in reality, he was at the disco doing the reality rumba like this up at the disco. This was Jay Wilson at the disco. Okay? Let's get into it. Get into it.
Lord. And yeah, so
Child.
I just think that it's very interesting. Maybe at some point Jay Wilson will see how silly he looks complaining about moles with Shelly up there. One day he will
Mhm.
realize how silly it looks.
I know. And did you hear the little dog whistle where he told his subscribers, "Well, if I was a subscriber, I would do something about it. I would report that." He's trying to get these people to report Demetra's page for her content. That's what he's trying to do,
I,
in my opinion.
I, I know, which is crazy in itself because he said, if you want to know What's happening on the cruise? You should come to the cruise. Well, Demetra has somebody who came to the cruise. So why you
Yeah,
mad
she
now?
wanted. Yeah, she wanted to know. Maybe she couldn't make it, but hey, she sent somebody in her stead. So what's the problem?
Right.
You're
And one thing that
a
I
whole
do,
mess.
one thing that I do have to say, Ronnie Q, and I just gotta say this, why you got a good little audience over here. I find it very hard to believe that out of those 4,000 people on the ship, that people think Melissa Scott was the only person named Melissa on the boat. The B sector is really, really bothering me with that. Out of 4,000 people, Melissa Scott was the only Melissa up there. That's crazy.
So so do you think that now this okay now Melissa Scott they I heard newbie. What are you saying about Melissa Scott?
Well,
As
what
far
I'm
as her
saying is,
buying a
I
ticket
heard
for
newbie.
someone else?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm saying I heard Newbie's live. Newbie said that she had bought a ticket herself and she gave it to her
Mhm.
friend Melissa to go on the trip.
Right.
But her friend Melissa, if I'm not mistaken, lived in Miami already or lived in the Florida area already. And she gave the ticket to her friend who already lived there. Melissa Scott is a totally different person.
Girl, I was assuming that
She
she meant
speaks about
Melissa
being
Scott.
from Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah. And so people are trying to say that Newbie gave the ticket to Melissa and that Melissa didn't buy her own ticket, but that's not true. Newbie gave her
Oh,
ticket to her friend Melissa. And believe it or not,
I
y'all, I went to high school and I graduated with about four Melissas. And if I had wanted to send one of them on the cruise, would y'all have thought that that was Melissa Scott that I sent? I mean, it's silly.
I guess so. But I thought that Kwani was asking her point. Well, I don't know. I just heard the Melissa, and I just assumed it was Melissa Scott, like you're saying. You're right. Like, why did we all assume it was Melissa Scott? And the thing about the story about Melissa was people were thinking that Nubiology had given Melissa a ticket to go free, and then Melissa turned around and bought a ticket for someone else. So they was like, "Well, dang, why did she take Newbie's ticket or whatever?" Like, I didn't see the big, kerfuffle in that. Like, yeah, well, shoot, she already had a ticket, so she saved up her money to buy her own ticket. So hey, let me send somebody else. Let me give
Mhm.
back. Let me what do they say? What do they say?
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward. Let me pay it forward. So what would be the problem with that? I don't know why that was such a controversy, but I did think that it was Melissa Scott who Newbie was speaking of that she gave her ticket to, because I was in the live when her and Kwani was discussing that she had given her ticket to Melissa. That was just an assumption on my part. I don't see the problem with her then paying it forward. Period. But see,
Right.
that may be foreign because we're talking about a Jay Wilson event. So, when you talk about paying it forward or giving back to somebody, when you have extra, maybe that's why it sounds foreign when you put it in the box of Jay Wilson. But you take it out of the house, or if you take it out of the house of Jay Wilson, then it sounds like she paid it forward. What's the
Right.
problem?
Right. That's true. But yeah, I didn't believe that Melissa bought anybody's ticket, and I didn't believe that anybody bought Melissa's ticket. And to be honest, if I had decided to show up to be a mole, I can promise you that I wouldn't have been the only Jasmine on the ship. I would not have
Mm-hmm.
been. There
Mm-hmm.
would have been plenty of Jasmines up on that ship. But I guess the B sector would have been like, she gave a ticket to Jasmine. She must have gave it to Jay Dunn. No, it's silly. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I got one more question to ask you. See, now this is something about that rumor about Shelly that I found was interesting. So, what do you think about the rumor that Uncle Viv was able to get somebody in her room and she put GHB in their drink?
Now, see,
Now,
I ain't even
where did
heard
that
that.
come from?
I never even heard it. I didn't hear about that for the first time until yesterday, whenever they was having that whole powwow about who bought the ticket for who. I had never even heard of that. But at the same time, I haven't been able to watch every single live that people don't put out here. But that was new to me, and I don't even know where that originated.
Yeah, and wasn't that like scandalous for them to? And I wonder who put that out. It couldn't have been her friend. It couldn't have been her friend who had the mole. And I don't know where that rumor came from, but I heard them talking about that. I want to thank
I
Palm Reader for my beautiful pictures. Palm Reader from LSA. I appreciate you. But go ahead.
and I do think that it's strange that nobody else mentioned anything about roofies and things like that except for her friend who had the mole. That's
Mm-hmm.
the first time that I heard about it was when her good Judy had the live yesterday and spoke about it. But I never heard anybody else in the sector say anything like that, which is very crazy because I feel like her friend who had a mole is the one that started this particular rumor and now is using that rumor to try to have content going forward uh, about a rumor that she started. Because I ain't heard
Mm.
nobody else talk about that.
Yeah, I didn't either. And I was like, wait a minute, where is this coming from? Now I had heard, okay, so there's that. So how come Jay Wilson didn't come out on his live? See, that was something more serious to talk about because putting that in someone's drink so that you can have your way with them or so they can be less consciously aware to make yes and no decisions. See, that was something bigger to actually address daughter. That was something to actually address Dr. Dawta Dingbat. How come you didn't
I
address
actually
that? Go
I
ahead.
agree 100%, Ronnie Q. And to be honest, that was the opportune time for him to come with his spiel. The law is for the lawless. The
The law is
law
for
is
the
for the
law.
lawless. Because if somebody was on the ship passing out roofies, oh, I'll be damned, Jay Wilson. This is whenever you need to do your spiel about the law being for the lawless. Because people passing out roofies. But you skipped over that opportunity to talk about that. I
Hmm.
wonder why. I wonder why.
But you're talking about people getting their picture taken in public, which is totally legal. You're talking about something that's totally legal that you are now incur. I if I was a subscriber, I would do something about that. And like, are you serious? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're not supposed to talk about your trip, but you talked about dough vacation, her first dough vacation. As soon as it got out of her mouth, ooh, they having fish the next day for breakfast. I'm sounding like Tim. I'm doing my arms like Tim. Ooh, and I just sent Shelly and Viv over there to help, and now I know everything that's going on. And I told Shelly and Viv not to just leave that alone. Just leave it after you got all your content that you could have up out of it, and then you still continue to talk about it. So that Jay Wilson is a mess. He is a hot mess, and I'm going to talk about it. That is something very serious that came out about your event. That came out about your event,
Well, can
Jay
I ask
Wilson,
you a
but you
question,
had
Ronnie
nothing
Q?
to say about that. Hmm.
Okay, so the question
Yes.
that I want to ask you. Okay, so if Demetra did her commentary and the mole said that just Andrea looked good up in her Timu outfit, if the mole said just Andrea feet look cute up in them Flintstone sandals, if the mole said
Don't
those
do
types
just
of
Andrea.
things, if the mole said those types of things about her, would she have been crying and been so offended about her picture? If the mole had gave her compliments up on her wardrobe and up on her bad build, bad body like figure, would
Don't
she
do
have
just
such?
Andrea.
Would she be so upset about the pictures?
Let me tell you something, Jay Dunn. I don't know who you think you fooling. I saw a picture, just Andrea, and she had on a red shirt, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, she got some big old, kadunk, big old knockers. And Jay Dunn, don't tell me you wouldn't bury your head in them titties and motorboat her to death. Get out of here.
That's not my point. My
That's
point
my point.
is, my point is, if the mole had said something positive, would it be this big kerfuffle about the pictures? Would it?
Well, you're saying just because you're saying because Jess Andrea's had a complaint that now that it's a big thing about the mole?
Well, she was one of the main ones that came live expressing disdain about her picture being taken without her permission. Although I do recall when she was licking and kissing Fi Baby and QB's ass when they was taking pictures of me without my permission, she had no problem with it. But now that the shoe is on the other Flintstone foot on the
Listen,
boat, then now she got a problem with the pictures. That's all I'm saying.
okay. I got your point, J Don. We're gonna move on. I like Jess Andrea, and you just have it, and you have admitted after all of this Flintstone foot stuff, you would bury your head in them them bedrock titties of hers and motorboating. So shut up. Shut up. Next, guys. Now, oh my God. Okay, so okay, last thing. Okay, so are you glad that this we no longer have to deal with this? Are you glad that Tracy finally made it home and you know we don't have to deal with drunk Tracy anymore? Are you glad that she's home?
Um, sure, I am. I'm happy
Okay,
that she made it home. I mean, Tracy just seemed very aloof the entire time that she was there.
she was drunk,
But I am
girl.
I am happy that she made it. She made it home. Hmm.
Okay, so this is Tracy. That's Tracy. She's shimmying and shaking for the camera. She's on the boat. Now Tracy has made it back to San Antonio. She's back home. The chicken head is back to reality. So there's that. She's back to her cascading pool in her own front yard. So Tracy has made it safely home. But they went to Miami for a couple of days. Did you see those pictures in Miami?
I saw some of it with her and Misunderstood when they extended their vacation. But I was just
So,
shocked. I would have thought that Tracy would have rushed to Noble's bedside, but she did.
girl, girl, please. So Tracy was on her last day of the vacation was doing her best impersonation of Mr. Snuffleupagus. So Tracy was there in Miami. She had her lashes did up. Ooh, look at them lashes. Ooh, she didn't even have to draw on her eyebrows because them lashes were so far up her face. So Tracy, I am so glad she is home and we do not have to endure any more of this from Tracy. Aren't you guys glad that Tracy made it home? And I forgot. Wait a minute. Tracy got braids. Okay, let's give Snuffy braids. Okay, so Tracy is done doing her impersonation of Mr. Snuffleupagus. So oh daughter, you sure look good there, daughter. Pastor, I'm so Pastor. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Daughter, where is MU? I tell you, I had a good time with MU, daughter. All right, do an impersonation. Act
Oh,
this
me?
scene out, Jake. Yeah, act this
Okay.
scene out. You see what's on the camera?
Okay, I do.
Okay.
Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Y'all, it was a lot going on, y'all. We were in the Bahamas, y'all, in the cruise ship. And I had 6 bathing suits. I had 6 bikinis, y'all. And I was so drunk, y'all. I was drunk and I fell and I was sleeping up on the sidewalk, y'all. And and
Daughter,
Emmy,
you Daughter, you kept
yeah,
talking about them naked people. Daughter, you was talking about them naked people, and you said as long as I get back to the ship, I know it got me a burger and fries. Daughter, you laid down there, huh, daughter?
but Jay Wilson, you knew that I was ready for my burger because it was better than bologna. You know when you come from eating bologna like me, that burger was heaven, Jay Wilson. But I fell asleep on the sidewalk and you didn't even come to check on me, y'all. It's a lot
Well,
going on, y'all.
daughter, I knew you would be okay. Daughter, you ain't even have to check to see if you had water running in your room because you stayed in that pool, huh, daughter?
was that color. It was that color because I stayed in there.
Oh my God. And scene. You are a mess. You are a mess, Jada.
Well,
Let me see. Let me see if I let me see. Let me make sure I don't have anything else to talk about. Okay. So okay. Oh, the hat. So Jay Wilson sat at the dinner table in this hat. Now, I don't know many men who wear hats indoors, but I do not know men who sit at the table in hats. So, do you think that it would have been more appropriate for Sis Wilson to wear the hat that is more he's more accustomed to? Sis Wilcox, don't you think this hat, had he worn it, would have been more appropriate at the dinner table on the ship? What say you, J Dunn?
well, I don't think that there was anything wrong with his sombrero, but I just wish that he would have taken his sombrero off during the dinner. And the true tea that I want to know is did he bless the food? Since he is a pastor, did he at least bless the food?
I don't even know, girl. I really don't know. And Jay Don, so now do you think that Pastor Wilson expected some privacy when he was posing for pictures, and because people are talking about him? Oh, he has a little gleam in his eye. You see that, girl?
Uh-huh, I do. Oh, the dollar
Oh,
sign.
well, oh, okay. Oh, that's why he got that little shitty grin on his face. He counted.
Hmm.
I'm counting my coin. Yeah. So why is it that he expected some privacy when he was out in a public atmosphere like this? Can you explain that?
Uh, um, I honestly cannot because I do feel like he invited the entire YouTube. He just didn't expect people to show up.
And you know what? If you put it on YouTube, we gonna talk about it. You know,
We're gonna
and
talk about it.
that's it. And that's all. He's not exempt. You're not exempt, Jay Wilson. Not at all. You're not exempt. Let me make sure I have. Oh, yes, I have a. Okay, you have any last words that you want to? What do you think about?
Um,
What do you think about? You know how MU went over there on Jay Wilson's panel, and Shelly geeked her up, and how did you feel? They didn't even give you a chance to get out of the car, and Cruiser had the camera all up in your face, and you didn't even have a chance to get out of the car and straighten your clothes out. Who wants a camera all in their face when they just got out of the car? Did you hear her say that to MU? And then MU was like, "Well,
I
yeah, it was
heard it.
uncomfortable." Okay. So
See, this is
what
my.
is your opinion on that?
I heard it, and what I couldn't understand for the life of me is at least MU could identify Cruiser because she knows what Cruiser looks like. MU, you still don't know who Shelly's mole is, and that mole could have been right up in your motherfucking face, and
Oh,
you wouldn't have known otherwise. And you still don't know what picture or what video could come out from Shelly's mole, if she in fact had one. A mole that you could not identify because you've never seen that mole before. So the fact that Shelly gassed her up to talk about Cruiser putting the
mm-hmm.
camera up in her face, Shelly's mole could have been sitting right there in front of your face while you was eating breakfast and you wouldn't even know. And I just don't
Oh,
understand why nobody was asking themselves that question when they were engaging in this topic with Shelly.
and also then MU goes over to Cruiser, who was also live, and then they had a conversation, and MU like kind of worked it out and was like, oh well, okay, it's no big problem, it's no big deal. And then MU goes back to Jay Wilson and said, well, I apologize to Cruiser. I was like, MU, oh God, you're ping ponging all over the place about a non freaking issue. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you, ladies and gentlemen. What did MU, did Miss Cruiser rush over to MU before she can get out of the car and have an opportunity to adjust her clothes? God, people don't want cameras all in their face. Okay, Let's play that beautiful beam footage. You want to stay up here while I present this, Jay Dunn?
Drop down, but thank you for having me, Ronnie Q. I
All
appreciate it.
right. I
Okay,
appreciate you
bye.
coming up. All right. Bye bye. I'm
Okay,
going to
bye.
share my screen and we're going to see what actually really happened. Um, it's a little, it's just a little short. And we're going to see what actually really happened when Cruiser approached MU. Did it happen the way Shelly said it happened? Or let's find out. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm a full screen this. I'm gonna turn the volume on, and here we go.
I'm gonna fuck with them. Ma'am, I need y'all to get y'all ass over here and get y'all ass on that.
Wait a minute. So now, are they in the car? Are they out of the car? Do she have her hands on her bag, ready to roll her bag? And does she look upset at Miss Cruiser, or is she like showing a little excitement and like, oh, I can't believe it? Let's continue.
Shit. Yeah, you doing? I'm sweaty. I've been out here for 2 hours. I'm sweaty. AM, Pastor MU.
Okay, so that she goes in to immediately goes in to hug Miss Cruiser. Let's see how upset she was when Miss Cruiser had the gall to come up there and obviously Miss Cruiser was hiding her camera, so we didn't see the anger at this point. But no, it was at the point when she was just getting out of the car. It wasn't the shells. Okay.
Hey, Pastor MU. Look.
Now, does that look like she did a little jig, did a little Vogue posing and waving her hand? Now, where is the anger that MU had that Miss Cruiser came up and was filming her as soon as she got out of the car and she couldn't even adjust her clothes? You know, it's not what you say.
They are
it's
ready.
What you can prove.
You make sure they bags get on that ship.
Absolutely.
And everything go well on that ship.
Now Miss Cruiser is such a bad woman. You make sure they bags get on their trip, make sure everything goes well on that trip, and then you have somebody coming up here, just slandering her name. So that is what happened on the that's what happened with this Jay Wilson deciding to take a day off early of his sabbatical to address a bunch of BS instead of really addressing some fires that was put out in the streets. So since the fires were put out in the street yesterday, I'm going to talk about how Jay Wilson ignored those fires in lieu of bowing down on his own channel, no less, to somebody who it appears strangely to me, has more control of his panel than he does of his bowels. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you. If anybody else want to click the link, you're more than welcome to click the link. And that's all I have. I thought that what happened yesterday was a total farce. And Jay Wilson, why don't you try to learn the people's names who came out instead of repeating Rainbow and Haitian Princess. I for some reason I saw that Rainbow may be a woman of means. I don't know about Haitian Princess, but those are the only two names that you bother to learn out of your 40 people. And it really looked kind of sad. Patricia and someone else who came up on your panel, they seem to not have a better grasp on the names and where people were from and who they were than you did, Jay Wilson. And it was painfully obvious. And then you sat up there and made let Shelly hush them up when they were the best life on your panel instead of Vivian's in up there. Brother Jay, I laid down and I took that Tylenol, that NyQuil PM. Brother Jay, yeah, you ain't looked at your flash drive yet? No, Vivian, I was sick. I got my flash drive. So you're also up there trying to, on the slide push this $25 flash drive. But brother Jay, why are you trying to push Vivian $25? I did look at it, and it's some. I no, the lady said she looked at it and there was some nice picture. Yeah, Vivian had a professional camera and she was taking some nice pictures. And I got to look at this flash drive. Yeah, okay. So, bro, Jay, how come Vivian got to sell these flash drives and all this type of stuff and work while she's on the cruise to hustle up a few crumbs, a little change when everybody has access to a cell phone where they can take their own pictures and crop them out, and they just as professional as Uncle Viv's is because she's so tired for doing everything for your cruise, and then her only way to make a little change is and it's some question if Viv paid for a room or didn't pay for a room. So Jay Wilson, you made money on this cruise. Would it have been too much for you to comp Vivian's room? Would it be too much for you to give Vivian some of that payment from some of that money you made? You want to talk about all the people they blessed us and they put envelopes in our hands, but you guys can bless me too. Cash App Ronnie Q, $ Ronnie Q. But the people put envelopes in our, and I want to thank Wolverine. He bought up the bar, and but the bar that you promised that was going to be open. Wolverine, he bought up the car, and when we went to get a gift card, Jay Wilson, would it have been too much in this money-making effort that Vivian did the bulk of the heavy lifting to give her a little pocket change to comp her room out of the money you made? Would that have been too much for you? Is there such thing as paying it forward for you ever, Jay Wilson? Or are you just a money-grubbing, greedy bastard? That's all I have. So, Jay Wilson, while you sitting up there talking about your subscribers ought to do something about the content that another content creator put on her page that was from things collected in a public setting, which is not for the lawless. It is within the law. Don't be mad that you overpromise and underdeliver. Jay Wilson, address some real things. Address the GHB rumor that is swirling around about. And you were on there talking about, ooh, it's gonna be some people in trouble. Ooh, I tell you, these dogs, are they sitting by the doors? Oh, it's gonna be some people in trouble. Now, Jay Wilson, there's a GHB rumor swirling around about your trip, but you didn't choose to address that. You chose to address people who are operating within the YouTube guidelines and the law, but that's what you chose to address. Jay Wilson, you are a total idiot. And that's all I have. Those old ladies might pay for flash drive because they don't know any better. And then after they get them, they ain't going to even know what to do with them. Who are you fooling? But he begged for money from the subscribers yet to rub it in their faces that Wolverine paid for the gift cards and the open bar. And he also pocketed their money. It's sad. Yeah, it's really sad. Miss Toby, good morning, Miss Toby. Oh, you doubt that Uncle Viv did all the work? You think Jay Wilson did some of the work? I think the work was done, the heavy lifting for this. Anything that Carnival Cruise Line didn't do, Vivian did in the heavy lifting. And while Jay Wilson advertised his cash app, I think the most Jay Wilson did was go out during his meet and greet to buy some gift cards because he was so concerned about what he was getting them for their gifts and for these little scavenger hunts and things. But if he was that worried, it seemed like he would have had those gift cards before he had gotten to Miami. The only reason he got off his funky butt to go get those gift cards is because it was on Wolverine's dime. So I do think that I ain't fussing at you, Toby. I do think between a Carnival Cruise Line and Vivian did all the heavy lifting for petication. Let's just call it what it is. Petication. So I thank you guys for coming out. I have, hey, Nisi, I have my Christmas wreath decoration contest coming up November 12th. That is a Sunday. It's at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be decorating our wreaths. Our cash our cash prize pot is up to $120 right now. If you would like to donate to the prize pot, you can cash at me at $ Ronnie Q and put prize pot in the memo line, and I will make sure that that goes to the prize pot. It's growing. We started this prize pot off at $50, and the prize pot is going. And I would like to thank all of you who have donated to the prize pot thus far. And if you would like to compete, leave a note under one of my most recent community wall posts or under this video, and I will put your name down. The wreath has to be at least 10 inches in circumference, and we're going to decorate them live on the air. So, and we're going to have a drinking game to entertain you guys while you do it. We have a great judge that a view acts to judge from the DIY community, and she has a nice big channel. And we also have Designs by V, who will be competing in that. If you haven't been over to V's designs page, Carrie, you can drop her link if you want to. Designs by V page. She does great DIY work, and she just does really fabulous stuff. So she's going to be in the contest. So it's going to be a visual feast for the eyes. And I hope you guys come out Sunday, November 12th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to be drinking and doing reefs. Some of these reefs may be tilted. I hope I hope none of the reefs are tilted, but you are going to be able to get tilted as we have fun that day. Hey, Heat Wave, hey, Hudson J, who are you fooling? I thank all of you. T, what is that? TMDJ. Right. He ain't do shit but collect payola. Okay, I thank you all for coming out, and hit the like button on your way out. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to end with a nice little song. And thank you guys once again. And I'll see you around the YouTube streets, I'm pretty sure. All right, you guys have a blessed weekend. And that's it. That's all. All right. Bye-bye.